on the staircase.
Rules did know that Kojovski was there a little bit earlier, so we'll have a lot of information to be playing with. Won't have seen Kojovski moving forwards. We'll know pretty much exactly where the player is. Tricky to win this one out, I would say. A lot of difficult terrain ahead of it. This compound has been such a bastion for the players who've been inside it.
Yeah, they've been struggling. They've been struggling if you're on that edge side. You have to work your way in. I think Stone's done a good job to kind of send people away from this position. It was less about taking down Ketch, but more about making sure he couldn't hold down towards the beach side. We saw how that went for him. Ketch was put in some very dangerous situations. Fortunately for anyone that came up against Ketch, they got to find out the hard way just how clutch this man is when it comes to these really, really tight moments. He's able to get out of them pretty sneakily. Does have that get out of jail free card a lot of times.
Stone in the buildings on the western side, right on the edge. Next circle will dictate a lot of the pace, I would say, of this next phase. North or south, or is it going to go away from the compounds entirely? Really going to have to choose it carefully. And instead, it's fairly dead center there, Blank.
That is fairly dead center. And the devs were saying, the circle's going to come into this. And I would agree. You get these kind of yellows, you get these positions. My name P, Silas, Ravenclaw from about, well, let's say, 2 circles ago, were kind of destined to be at this point in the game, so far through. And I'm named Pete, trying to send these nades over towards Ravenclaw. Hard to thread this one, but if he does, Ravenclaw's going to have to be careful. Does move out. It's so close as well. You can see with the line there.
Yeah.
The question is, how many nades does my name P still have, and how useful is it trying to thread this through?
2 more nades in the back pocket. Did that go through? Oh no, it's just bounced off there. I thought that one had managed the post, but not quite. Stoned now with another move to make. Drops a smoke on the corner, isolating the sightlines from that northern side of the compound. Pops in the vehicle and wants to roll forwards quickly. I mean, will probably be very valuable there. Players to worry about. Silas ready and waiting. Right on this door frame with a micro Uzi and challenge, and Solus has suppression as well. Stone DBS are on the edge, but they're not landing finally. Able to get the shots in, and Stoned now has more to worry about. The players to his south left in the dust, and Stoned has been moving through really effectively. Naded through the window from my name P, and we will find out just how noisy the neighbors can be.
Molotov tries to send it through in towards the smoke to trick Stone, maybe walking out in towards it to get away from another nade. Stoned is now in a pretty difficult position, though he does have a lot of stims to play around with. Get himself back up to full HP. That is just one of those engagements where, yes, both DBSs aren't hitting, but again, it's more about dodging the DBS, and whatever gets the work done in the end is what's necessary.
Oh, Kojovski spotted. Rules was spotted as well in the grass, but had to win out that trade. My name P doesn't want the shots this time.
Yeah. I said DRS a little bit campy, but now they've gone full on feral. They've gone right into the wilderness, taking it to the enemy team, just hiding in the old bushes, in the trees, taking the shots where they can, laying those traps, and Kojovski, he rocked right into one. I almost became Bugs Bunny there for a second.
What's up, though? 2 players from Fireflux. Playing close to each other, Ketch and Solus. Ketch has been a little bit more of a star in this game so far. See if Solus can ruin his teammate's day, ruin the chance of that 3K.
Yeah, and right now, Vampire have the best chance, alongside with Fireflux with 2 players, Solus and Ketch. I do wonder how well these 2 players know one another. Yeah, probably not well at all. That was a nade from Ketch. Oh, it's going 1-to-1 here. So it's like, let me tell you something. It's me. It's me, your brother.
But we are friends. No, don't do it.
Ketch has just got like the blood rage on right now. The fury. He's not seeing straight. He doesn't see teammates anymore. He just sees bodies to put in the ground. Soulless. Already lacking a soul. To be honest, probably best if he wasn't a grave at this point in time, thinks Ketch.
Ketch has the DBS on the corner, but Solus just swings for him. Instantly hits the deck. 5 players now remaining, Blank. My name P, hiding out in the building for so long, successfully. Vampire with the main number of players. 2 still alive. You're talking about their chances there. Rules has to make this cross now, and My name P shuts the door. Doesn't want to remain exposed for too long. Looks like Ravenclaw might be out of meds as well.
Yeah, remain in this area, and this is the problem with sticking in one spot for too long is that you just do not get the resupplies you need. Kind of fitting, I guess, that Solus did take down Ketch. I mean, you don't have a soul. Kind of easy to take down your brother in that sense. My Name P, though, with the UMP, realizes that he needs to move a little bit further out. I've got to say that this PMGC skin is absolutely gorgeous this year. Definitely on the Buddha hype, put it that way.
Well, My Name P on that Buddha hype. Right now, 4 players remaining, 2 of them from Vampire. Fireflux, Solus, Buddha My Name P. Trying to stick it out. Stoned seems to have the bead on My Name P. Hits the deck for the drop shot, but the nade doesn't land either. And in comes the push as well. Ankle sweeper, maybe. Has to swap the weapon.
Yeah,
Hang on a minute. What is going on? Stoned just doesn't spot him, I suppose, through the smoke. It's difficult to see. A sliver of HP keeps him alive, but the DPS around the corner gives him a shout in the fight. But no, My Name P finally up and into the action. Will take down one of the Vampire players. Now it's 1 versus 1 versus 1. Ravenclaw the last for Vampire.
It looked like the shimmy DBS was not working out that time, just from side to side. Looked like he was trying to go for the do-si-do, but that does not bring the dough home in that 3K. Fireflux looking to take it all the way here with Solus, looking mighty strong in a decent position on the edge, but this is the final zone. It will continue to move in. Ravenclaw, oh, he's left this medkit to the last moment. The surprises as he runs out, looks towards My Name P, looking for that revenge.
Nade from Ravenclaw being pulled now. No utility left at all for My Name P. No backpack either. Gonna go bear into this one. Solus spots Ravenclaw crawling up, sees him hit the deck, and there's no way Ravenclaw gets away from this one. Center of the circle needs to be occupied now, and My Name P will be able to do so. Put it down with their chance here. Solus as well, up the top rope. Right on the edge of the blue zone, and My Name P is just moving in with this circle. Solus waiting, knows exactly where the player's going to be coming from. And waiting for this crawl forwards. All it's going to take is 1 mag on either side. Solus breaks out wide, takes the initiative this time, plays on the rock, very, very central now. My Name P, no nades for Solus either. Armor looking fine for this 1v1, and now up he goes, Solus for the challenge! And it's Fireflux's player, Solus, took down his teammate and stands tall.
I mean, that's absolutely what you want to see. We heard what Solcase said. You don't mess with fire, even if you're on the own team there. And Fireflux will take home the first show match there with Solus taking back the 3K. Happy days for them. But honestly, we kind of saw some of the big teams that we expected to see towards those 1v1 top positions. It was kind of weird for me. I thought that, this would be all topsy-turvy. But no, we did see some of the teams that everyone talked about, the guys on the desk had talked about. They were towards the top. Maybe not Max, because he talked about order and he went down almost instantaneously, but that's just life. That's how these things happen.
Well, that's true as well. I mean, I had Kengzo go down very early in that engagement as well. So many of the players that we might have expected to get a little bit later in might have failed, but maybe they were more concerned about preparing for the games to come.
Maybe. But if you put it around, you're My Name P. You try and take it all the way, but if you Fireflux, they came here to play, man. They came here to play, they came here to win, they'll take the show match and everything else. We'll see if they can get it done.
Yeah, hopefully they can.
Whoa.
Everyone's very excited here in Jakarta. We're going into this game thinking, who's going to have that power. I feel like it was a very, very different type of scenario to what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the day. It's a really good little amuse-bouche, as Max would say, for the rest of the day. You would say that, Max. Max is giving me the thumbs up. He would say that. That is, in fact, a word, and, well, 2 words that he would say.
Okay, what does it mean? Because you've not given any context.
Amuse-bouche. It's like an hors d'oeuvre.
Max is doing this.
Right?
So
it's like an hors d'oeuvre.
Kind of little
it's an hors d'oeuvre.
to nibble
I'm saying
on.
French words to explain French words.
Good. You are. That's very unhelpful.
Take a look at that flag flying across the top of the crowd there. Pride for Indo coming on through. Lovely to see.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was people trying to escape the flag at first, but then I realized that they're carrying it across. I thought they were just like capturing people. But no, that is a beautiful Indonesian flag. Happy days. Good stuff. Honestly, when the army came in for Alter Ego, I was very proud. I mean, they picked their moment too. They were like, oh, you think everyone's in? No, we still have the big amount of support to bring.
There certainly is plenty of support, not only for the Indonesian teams, but for a lot of the other teams as well. But it is their home turf, and you've got to love it. You've got to love that show of pride. As they gather the flag up, they dragged it all the way across that section of seats. Maybe other audience members will have their turn in a bit. We'll have to wait and see. Hang on a minute, are they going back?
I'd like a turn. I'm quite cold, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a little bit chilly. We're up in an air-conditioned area.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if Alex gets goosebumps, I get the goosebumps because I'm cold. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe he wasn't nervous. But we're going to head to an interview over on the stage desk with Barney.
Welcome back to the main stage. First and foremost, the crowd is absolutely sensational. We are joined on the main stage by Solus of Fireflux. Congratulations for taking home that victory for the show match. I have to ask you, with regards to the rest of the matches today, has that boosted your confidence?
Tebrik ediyorum gösterdiğin performans açısından. Bu maç senin performansını ve özgüvenini yükseltti mi? Ne düşünüyorsun?
Asıl maçlardan önce şov maçları tabii ki de performansımı büyük ölçüde etkiledi. Bundan sonraki maçlara büyük katkıda bulunacağını düşünüyorum bu oynadığım maçın.
Of course, this match definitely boost my confidence, and I hope that it will also help me to show better performance during the other next match.
Oh, oke. Ini dia teman-teman semuanya, Soulless dari Fireflux yang sudah memenangkan solo match barusan, yang dimana sudah menyampaikan kalau memang solo match barusan ini membuat tingkat kepercayaan diri dari Soulless ini meningkat dan pastinya sudah bisa memberikan performance yang terbaik, dan pastinya Soulless sendiri senang sekali akan hal tersebut.
Solus, sana sormak istediğim önemli bir soru var, merak ettiğim bir konu var. Hangi oyuncuyu kendin için büyük bir tehdit olarak görüyorsun şov maçları da başlarken?
Öncelikle birinci tehdit kendi takım oyuncum Catch. İkinci tehdit de Order.
First of all, our team player Catch, he is the biggest threat for me. As a second threat is the Order.
Oh, oke. Jadi Order dan juga Catch sendiri, bahkan dari tim matchnya sendiri yang sebenarnya adalah salah satu, dua sebenarnya untuk kali ini, player yang agak ngeribetin sih di match barusan.
We have your first match of the Grand Finals. Okay, I just want you to let us know, let everyone here in this arena know, and everyone at home, what is your team's biggest strength going into today?
Birazdan ilk maçlara başlamak üzereyiz. Maçlara başlamadan önce sormak istediğim bir durum var. Sizin takımınızın en güçlü yönü nedir?
Sürekli birlik içinde olmamız. Hem oyun dışı olsun, sürekli birlik içinde olmamız ve normal bir aileden hiçbir farkımızın olmaması.
Our biggest advantages actually we are the big family and we are always together and always support each other.
Oh, oke. Jadi sebenarnya kekuatan terbesar dari tim FF ini atau Fireflux ini sendiri adalah kekeluargaan mereka. Karena mereka suka bareng-bareng, ya sama lah ya kayak kita. Para Indonesia juga kekeluarganya kental banget gitu.
Well, Solus, thank you so much for joining us here on the main stage for your post-match interview, and best of luck in the rest of the day to you and to your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I love their energy, Banks, and that sure was a great match, wasn't it, Banks?
It really was. Donna, you know what? That match and that performance has set the bar for the skill level that we are all going to expect now for the rest of the tournament. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the main stage the Vice Secretary General of Indonesian Esports Federation, Dr. IGM Kartikajaya, SEMMMA.
Guys, we're back, in case we really are. Thank you so much to, Banks and Donna Vizquel for that beautiful interview. And if that isn't a storyline that we almost kind of touched on, because Solus, he took down Catched just before entering the top 5, and then he took it home as well. Now that is something they obviously now in hindsight probably are celebrating, but it could have gone differently, you know?
I did like what John and Black was saying during that game too, is like, trying to make signals, almost smoke signals with the smoke. It's like, it's me you're shooting out right now, but it's just good fun, and it seemed like they were just having some fun after the game, and man, it's just like, just a little bit of an avant-bouche, we can also say that works too, guys, before these first matches, and it's been a good start to the day.
Stop saying all these French words. There's only one French word I know, and I cannot say it, Max.
Definitely don't want to.
I do want to touch on something as well. That was really interesting because we had 2 Vampire players in the top 4, and none of them made it into the top 2. Look, both went out almost immediately afterwards, which is quite the bummer, I can imagine.
Yeah. With that, let me take on that real quick. You pointed it out too. When there was a Final 4, there was one player that just wasn't moving. He was just waiting patiently, and that was Ravenclaw. And he decided to, I think we heard Blank say it too, that he decided until the last minute to just get that last heal. I wish he would have rotated a little bit early, but at the end of the day, it is a show match.
And I do have to say, one player that really impressed us, despite not taking the win in that game, it was Rules.
Yes.
From DRS. He had, what, like 6 eliminations?
6 eliminations.
And he's been constantly like moving about, playing different ridge lines, third-partying a few fights here and there. Like, it's not easy in that kind of situation. If you were a player that was on the East, you're dead.
yeah, he was playing the blue zone. He was kind of just moving along with it, and it ended up working out for him. 6 elims. That's a great way to start the day.
I do have to say, there was one frag where I was particularly impressed because he had to cross the street on towards the compound that we saw in the end, and he was on the east side of it. And he took, I don't know who it was, but he took one of the players down that was having a car and like a smoke in order to cover himself from the compound, and that was the most important fact, the one I was most impressed with, because that was a really hard aim fight to take. And he actually made it work. That was the point where I thought, okay, this play could actually, gain him some actual confidence in terms of bringing that energy over into PMGC final games.
Yeah, ultimately he just wasn't blessed by the song.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I like you made like said the most basic like call out stuff. I think the circle's going to be pretty important, and
I didn't say that.
I'm just making fun.
Just like you didn't pick order either. I got you, baby. Who was it that you picked?
I picked Kengzo.
That's who I thought. Okay, so that means you're not cursing people right away. Nice.
He did.
Who did?
Yes, I actually did. I actually kind of did. I picked Paraboy. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Actually, I expect King. I think King was in really late.
Yeah,
and
him and Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy had a pretty good position as well. I actually expected them to do way better.
I can actually give you my pick since it is after the game. Do you want to take a guess?
I don't want. No, I don't know.
It's not who you think it is.
Who is it?
I actually had Revo from Alpha 7.
When did you do
I had an actual pick.
Chance I just pick it.
I wasn't just waiting to see who was going to win. I was like, let's see how he does.
I want my respect for you just a little bit higher. Just a tad.
Yes.
Interesting things. He was saying in the interview, and we have to come back to Solus to some degree, because I thought that was really interesting. I mean, Banks asked him straight away. He pinpointed that question pretty directly. He said, "Is that going to give you confidence in terms of going into the next games?" And we were talking earlier if that game is even going to be played seriously to some degree. Actually, do they actually care in terms of are they still inside the next games in terms of what are they focusing on? Yeah. And I felt like Solus, he was focused on that game.
Yeah.
And something like that, even though he didn't have the most amount of kills, and I think Rules maybe in terms of confidence he's got kind of, maybe an even bigger boost of confidence. But I do think that is going to make a difference.
I think it somewhat set the tone in terms of micro, because once again, players trying to get heated up, ready for the first match, like the first real game that we're going to have with teams. And I think it just set the tone of okay, this is the kind of level we're going to be expecting if we're taking 1v1 scenarios and such. So yeah, it's a good little start. And Solus, I mean, he was looking really just. I was like, oh man, this guy's got presence on the stage right now, and he did great in that first game.
In a way, the thing that they might have taken very serious was those 1v1s when it came down to it, right? They are going to be able to get that information. If for some reason we do end up seeing some of those 1v1s, they're going to just reflect a little bit more on this show match. Even though it was a show match, they didn't want to die. They didn't want to get eliminated, so they're going to be like, okay, earlier I threw a smoke there and he decided to go a different way. Earlier I threw a molly there and he reacted this certain way. So who knows, maybe it'll come to play, but I really doubted that a lot of the players were taking it serious.
No, I don't. Yeah,
just
maybe not like 100% series, not like a PMGC Grand Final kind of
Yeah.
series, but it was interesting either way. Well, while we're already on the topic of Fireflags, because when I met them, I was tapping on Sokai's shoulder and I was like, hey, I'm here. And I was saying him, PMGC? I was tapping his one, because at that point, I was still very much sure that Fireflags had one of the best chances over